Hello everyone and welcome back to Heritage Hill in Pillars of Eternity. We will continue our Let's Play series today, so let's go right ahead here. More chemical supplies we can't use. Actually, maybe we should just rest now and then take the supplies. Just to be on the safe side. And you know what? Let's just do that. We gain higher bonuses later on. I didn't know that one. Good to know though. So let's take the damage reduction for who can take it. And yeah, let's rest. Oh, that's a different one. You wake to see Durance, his staff held in both his hands before him. A flame flickers at its top end, casting long shadows across his face as he stares in contemplation. Still, for all the light of the fire, your eyes can't focus on him. Perhaps it is awakening from sleep or trick of the light, but he seems indistinct, blurred around the edges, everything except for the staff. The staff. He seems to be studying its engravings. As you watch, the engravings glow thinly red, like through the cracks of heat-suffused wood. The lines steam like molten metal, burning along the edges of his staff, then branch out in an intricate series of fiery veins, bunching thickly where his hands clutch the wood, pulsating as if a heartbeat. As you watch, the veins spiral into a dozen separate circles, circles that spiral again until they are arranged in a circle of their own. They pulse, wait, and all is strangely silent and then, suddenly, there's a great light from the fire, a rushing of air, a great flash, and you awaken again to see Durance in the same place, still holding his staff, but he is solid, real. He doesn't seem to have noticed you, or reacted to what occurred. Oh. Okay, that's interesting. So let's talk to Durance. Thought I felt your eyes on me. Now come the words. I've had questions.
If doubts and curiosity plague you, you're skinning your knuckles on the wrong door.
Okay, I saw something strange. You were sitting by the fire and I saw a great light from your staff.
Tell me what you saw.
It was a flash like an explosion, a rushing of air, incredibly bright.
It is the light of the Godhammer you saw.
What?
It was a weapon of Deerwood's people, a symbol of their independence. It saved the Deerwood.
Okay, what do you know about it?
It brought the Saints' War to an end, knocked a god from his perch. There are few that would deny Eothas overstepped. The Godhammer reminded Eothas of it.
Huh.
You saw its light because I helped shape it, give it life, and release it into the world. Once seen, its glory is almost too bright to be believed, and too bright to be forgotten.
That might explain the comment to Kana recently. So you helped build the Godhammer?
There were 12 of us. We fashioned the weapon, drafted plans for it, prayed for guidance at Ashfall, and it came to me there. Each of us were given a staff made from the forest of black trees around us, glowing with embers and fire far greater than this branch you see now. It felt as if the staff was Margaren's own finger, guiding my hand, guiding the other 11, the shadows of the 12 who had come to stand on the bridge to stop Eothas.
Shadows of the 12?
Even in that stand, there was a ritual to it. For the 12 that stood on the bridge, there were a dozen shadows cast, a dozen faithful of Margaren, her fiercest supporters and shapers of the Godhammer.
Durance rests the staff in front of him, and the flame atop it hurls for a moment, the light flaring slightly. It splits into a ring of flames, one after the other, until a dozen is met.
As 12 held Eothas fast, we 12 unleashed our prayers and let the Godhammer fall.
Then it blossoms brightly once and resumes its candle intensity. In the aftermath, the shadow seems sharper in the vicinity, as if they have edges, and you blink to clear your vision. Durance is still standing at the tiny cradle-like flame, intently.
Shadows cast by the fire of the Godhammer, perhaps. And we shared their fate as well in time. Now the spine of the Deerwood is marked by the Godhammer, marked by Magrin.
Durance frowns and moves his gaze from the staff. Okay, what do you mean, shared their fates?
Not all deaths come with stilled breath and stilled heart, or other stilled passions beneath the waste. Some deaths come from silence. The connection we once shared with Magrin, after the light of the Godhammer, it was not the same. It was as if we'd lost our senses, and sense of purpose as well. Instead of victory being welcomed, there was silence, within and without. Not many can claim to have killed a god. It is less a heroic tale than you would think. And such a death, it changed our faith. All faiths, I expect. Doubt followed, and the world changed. I do not believe Magrin was pleased by what we had done.
Why is that?
The world is broken. The wheel stilled. There is sickness in the world's heart. Perhaps the price of crossing a god. Crossing two gods. Even as Magrin shaped our hands, perhaps we carried her will farther than was allowed. Just as Widewind did. Saint Widewind. Mortal arrogance to match mortal arrogance. Yet if the world had changed, then I sought to change with it. If I had forgotten some of Magrin's teachings, I would find them again. I would make her see me again.
So what did you do?
I remembered Magrin's teachings. How reminders on the flesh were more important than the death of a vessel. And I wondered if killing Aethys, if that had simply set him free. Had it allowed him to escape his punishment and be taken on the wheel? Like a mortal?
Durance's voice takes an odd upturn. For once, it feels like he is genuinely asking a question, like a mortal. He shakes his head.
As I stepped from the now blessed Godhammer Bridge, I thought of Ashfall. I thought of the War of Black Trees. Wondered if I needed to be burned to find myself again. That is Magrin at her heart. At least that is my hope. These are the doubts that befall me.
What happened when you returned to Ashfall?
The road to Ashfall is long. Gives one time to think. And if you think long enough, you do not go home. I left without telling anyone, with only the robes I wore at Halgot, my staff, and my name, which is long buried. Of my fellow 11 craftsmen, disciples, I know not what happened to them, if they suffered the same doubt as I did. But it was underserved. It was wrong. We had done all that, or had asked. Grab victory from defeat and...
Feel as if your god has betrayed you? Or ask, do you feel as if your god has betrayed you? Well, let's be authoritative.
There is something about being used and cast aside. Perhaps Widewen himself felt it. There at the end, when the hammer struck. To be the proof that your god is hollow as the vessel it inhabits. I tried to find purpose, and avoided all contact with other Magranic priests. Did not seek the walls of Ashfall, and sought to make amends to my god through actions. I joined with the Purges for a time, and not long after came the first signs of the Hollowborn. So many crimes, trespasses, violations. The Salvation. Animancers were another sickness born of the Saints' War. A relapse of innovation, of desperation to heal what we had caused. All seemed worse than before the bridge, not better. And as years passed, the world became even worse still for the victory.
You committed atrocities and your goddess has shut you out for it. Exactly what you deserve. We are passionate. Let's do it. Sweat collects in the sooty creases of his forehead and runs down his ruddy cheeks. It drips from the tip of his nose. His mouth moves, but his utterances make no sound. He is, for once, at a loss. Feeling your gaze, he quickly composed himself, wiping his forehead with the back of a dirty hand.
Worship the whims of some fickle bitch, and you'll never be more than dirt beneath her feet. Worship what she worships, on the other hand. Take her fire for your own, and her esteem comes on its own. Of course, by that time you no longer need it. Trial and transformation, sure as Durance taught.
Durance glares at you, and staring into his eyes gives you the feeling of peering over the edge of a great cliff.
You think to put the coals to my feet, but what's burned once will never burn again. These talks are your trial, Watcher. You cannot deflect the truth to one who has already been purified by it.
Okay, so other questions about the Godhammer. What happened on the bridge when the Godhammer fell? We chose the bridge because we could control it. Durance's hands tightened at the top of the staff, as if holding it by the neck. It was a place where we could choke Eothas in his own footsteps, where we knew his feet would fall. Narrow neck of stone. But it was more than that. It was a spine of the deerwood, symbolic of its backbone. Such symbols are important in the construction of a weapon. Durance studies his staff, his eyes traveling along the edgings. Any weapon. Durance's face hardens and his eyes burn, his eyebrows narrowing. I suspect Eothas knew that as well, and so did his vessel, in its arrogance. His hand tightens on the staff. He intended to walk upon the bridge as if walking on the backs of the deerwood. And we intended to burn him with the light of our faith, and his. 12 on the bridge, 12 in the shadow, and gave ourselves to it. Give yourselves to it?
We put much of ourselves into the Godhammer. Such a device is not simply a machine. There are elements of the spirit in it. Even Widewind's spirit.
Elements of the spirit?
Each of the 12 who brought the Godhammer forth would have done anything to save the Deerwood, save its people. It is why we were chosen. Each of us hated this pretender. That rage, that spirit, that rebellion went into our work, and went into studying him as well.
Wait one?
We all studied Widewind. He was our enemy, and he had provided the flesh the god wore as a cloak. That flesh made him vulnerable. I knew what fields his hands had tilled, his family, what he had harvested, where he had been born. We sought to know him, what had led him to fight us.
Why was that important?
You don't kill the god. You kill the man it inhabits. And you leave that man a ruin. Burn him to ash. The weapon was meant to not only burn his flesh, but it would burn his soul. And it did. At the cost of our own. And at the cost of our goddess's favor. That whore be damned.
Is that why your image was blurred in the dream? Durance frowns, glances at you with a sharp look. Perhaps your eyes were blinded by the Godhammer's light, Watcher. He nods. I may feel half a man at times, but even that is twice that of most others.
If you fear for my spirit, your fears are baseless. The Godhammer, seeing its light, only fueled my anger and made me stronger, made me re-examine the teachings of Margren, put them in a new light.
Well, it looked as if there was only part of you, as if your spirit had been shed in half.
I do not need you to cast any more questions on me, Watcher. Nor did I ask you to look upon me without my leave. Get gone, and leave me be.
Okay, so that's that done. Ah, okay, our arena can level up as well. That was interesting. There's a lot more to Durance than there seemed to be. Let's take a fireball here. And we've got a new ability here. More spell uses. Let's take a bonus 2nd level spell here. Anyways, yeah, Durance is actually really interesting here. There was a door over here. And now before I go into the tower out here, I wanna check on the various entrances in the district. See what awaits inside. Well, there's definitely something going on here. Enthralled Justicars and Lyra. A woman turns when you enter. Her white, pale eyes shine like lamps in the darkness of the tomb. 4 crucible knights hover nearby, their glazed expression fixed on her. Reinforcements at last. I hope you've come armed, because we've got to get out of here. Something about her seems hazy and insubstantial, even in the darkness of the tomb. Who are you? A commander of the Crucible Knights. I led the militia stationed around Heritage Hill. Securing this district became my responsibility when this, whatever it is, happened. What are you doing here? I came searching for survivors. Only too late did I realize there weren't any. She brings a hand to her head. Her skin is practically translucent. I found myself surrounded by those creatures outside, and I had to seek refuge. Funny, isn't it? To hide from the dead in a building that was meant to hold them in the first place. She pats the wall of the tomb. Anyway, I've been waiting for more reinforcements. What are these soldiers doing here then? She looks at them, but either she doesn't notice their distant gazes and the way they sway on their feet, or she thinks nothing of it. They're under my command, of course. They heard my call, and they've been waiting on a few more to help us fight our way out here. How did they manage to hear you in this tomb? Her eyes flash. There's something unnatural about the way she hovers, watching you. I hope you're not questioning my command. I'm warning you. I don't tolerate insubordination. At all. Okay, let's try the clever way. I hate to be the one telling this, but you're already dead. Her eyes grow cold and hard. You'd better explain yourself, and quickly. You're a ghost, and you've been luring Crucible Knights to their deaths. She freezes in place, hovering in the air. No, that's impossible. It's only been... I can't be. The other side of the tomb is visible through her gaping mouth. She looks at her hands, seemingly for the first time, turning them in front of her. As her eyes and her mouth widen in horror, she turns to you. What have you done to me? Her expression hardens, and the Crucible Knights behind her stir. Novitiates, attack! Oh, damn. Okay. Let's get them locked up here. Okay, let's go for slow mode here. How dangerous is she? Mark you attack here. Shift to the side. There, works out. Task upgraded. Missing sentry. Can we actually focus on her, maybe?
I'm stuck.
Damn.
Well, she certainly hurts me a lot. Okay. Let's go ahead and use a necrotic energy might not damage her as much. Durance, my friend. Let's see if we can knock her down. And you actually go ahead and do that. let's use some binding missiles here. Yeah, I feel as much chance went down. Oh, she's certainly taking a lot of a beating here. Particular. Oh, it does corrode damage actually. I was probably misremembering a little.
Damn.
Played too much D&D in my time. And she just vanished for a second, which is unfair. Come on. Let's remove the slow mode here. Ah, paralyzed. Out of the way, and then finally give me necrotic lance, please. Been long enough here. One justical down. I still hope that when I kill her first, the others snap out of it, perhaps. Kind of require a bit of healing here. So get Durance up. Next order of business is actually heal a bunch of people. There we go. And then give me an interdiction. And then... if it works. Ah, well, seems we've destroyed her. Okay, good. We need to kill them, sadly enough. Everyone, attack the enthralled Shostakar. That was not the easiest fight. Take him down. There we go. Okay. They had crucible plate armor. Holy shit, that's high-end armor. Awesome. You had some more of that. Yes, you did.
And what does the flame reveal?
Here does much. Is there perhaps also a hidden item? Doesn't seem like it.
That's settled.
Trap disarmed. So there's plate armor and a greatsword. Nothing else really? That's a bit sad. Hope for more there. Oh well. Out we go. Next we had this one out here. Let's go there quickly. Quick save again, as usual. And then see what's inside. Well, this seems a bit more spacious.
Light, flame, and sound.
Seda, let us in. It's safe. Come out now. Open the door, Seda. Female Dargul sniffs the air and whirls around, hissing, "Survivor!" Ah, so Darguls can actually apparently speak.
Damn.
Okay, good. Everyone's engaged. Now we can start with the interesting stuff. Like that. Massive area damage. Okay, this guy here seems most damaged. First one down. Two more to go. You better go heal yourself soon. Good. That's also done. Oh, wow. Whole bunch of good stuff here. Okay, but on that note, before we explore further inside here, I'm gonna end this episode. I do thank you all for watching, hope you've had some fun. If you did, consider commenting, liking, or even subscribing. I'm happy about every little bit. You can also follow me on Twitter at _madletter for all the news updates. And on that note, thanks again for watching. Hope to see you in the next episode. Bye bye.